It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing Monday Night Raw. Alright, so Monday Night Raw kicked off with the Riddle promo. And one of the things I really liked about this promo was the fact you felt Riddle's emotion. It felt very emotional. And you can see, not only could you see it, but you can feel it. He was basically talking about how, Randy is dealing with a back injury. He's had a rough couple of years and a rough couple of months. He said that Randy could barely walk before the tag team match on SmackDown, but he didn't want to disappoint the fans because he knew how much it meant to Riddle. So I really, really like that. That's what I want to see. When someone delivers a promo like this, it's totally makes it worthwhile and it makes you invested in it because they're talking from the heart. Anybody else could have said this, but I don't think they would have put in the same emotion that Riddle put into this promo. So very good promo if you ask me by Riddle. All right. So then afterwards, this leads into a 6-man tag match. It's Matt Riddle and the Street Profits versus the new undisputed tag team champions, the Usos and Sami Zayn. Let's see. It was an enjoyable promo from Riddle. Shows how much he cares for order. Yes, it does. Definitely does. I agree 100% on that. So, interesting thing, Sami Zayn came out with the Bloodline shirt. I have to say, I really, really like that. As we all know, Sami Zayn considers himself a stooge for the Bloodline. So, I really like that. Was that not a bad match? I like when the Usos did their typical, gesture. Sami Zayn did it with them too, which I thought was hilarious. I will say I felt bad for Sami Zayn because after Riddle hit him with the DDT, the Usos pretty much just leave him in there and he got the pin. He got pinned. So I guess maybe there is a conspiracy theory against Sami Zayn. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I have to say, Sami's getting a lot of screen time. I mean, he was on SmackDown, now he's on Raw. He's probably going to be on SmackDown again. Now I'm pretty intrigued to see how he responds to the Usos leaving him, or or how the Usos respond to him getting pinned. So I'm actually kind of going to see intrigued as to see where this goes. All right. So then we get the Bobbly Lashley's Almighty Challenge. And let me see. Decent 6-man tag, but we've seen Usos versus Street Profits before. Yeah, we have. I know we have. And we will continue to see it a bunch of times over, especially now that the tag team titles are unified. All right, so this Almighty Challenge was Bobbly Lashley coming out, basically saying that it's not over between him and Omos. I don't know why. I really don't know why this feud isn't over. And he basically asked Omos and MVP to come out. And here's the thing. I would have thought he would have asked for a stipulation for their match at Hell in the Cell. But instead, the Almighty Challenge is Lashley challenging MVP to a match tonight on Raw. And when the winner chooses the stipulation. This left me kind of scratching my head because it was the Almighty Challenge. I kind of thought maybe it would just be an open challenge, but I was wrong. Then I thought, okay, he's calling out MVP and almost, so I was maybe we're gonna find out what his stipulation is for Hell in a Cell, but nope. The Almighty Challenge was him challenging MVP. So again, left me with my head scratching. This feud needs to end, as I can say. Same for New Day, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch feud. Yeah, definitely does need to end. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this segment. And it's not Bobbly Lashley's fault. It's just doesn't cut it for me. I'm just tired of that feud. That would have been over with that steel cage match, but I don't know what more can they do. Actually, I have an idea. But I'll talk more about it when we get to the match. So we found out Crown Jewel returns, and it's going to be November 5th on a Saturday. We get a Judgment Day promo afterwards where Priest is like being all extra demanding and stuff and telling the crowd to rise and to show respect to Judgment Day. First of all, I didn't rise standing at home. Did you guys rise for Judgment Day? Because I didn't. Ed, he was saying that Edge offered the opportunity to join them, and then Rhea said that she and Priest are different people. And Rhea said she would forgive Liv Morgan if she joins Judgment Day. Edge says that Judgment Day is the truth. He says Judgment Day is power, physical power, and mental power. He says people who join can recreate and reinvent themselves. And he says people are afraid of hard work and success. I kind of actually dug that part. Rumors did swear that Ciampa was going to join, but it's been a while now, and Ciampa has yet to join. So I'm curious to see who else is going to join this stable and why. But how would you guys personally join Judgment Day? I don't think I would. Just because I wouldn't. I don't know. I get what they're saying, but I personally wouldn't join Judgment Day. As much as I want Ciampa to be the fourth member of Judgment Day, I know they do make Balor the fourth member. Oh, more. Ooh, interesting. More about that. So this leads into a tag match. Is Liv Morgan and AJ Styles versus Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Wasn't a bad tag match. I actually really liked that match, but I question where was Finn Balor. Like Edge was out there, and Edge got involved multiple times in this match. First, he put Rhea Ripley's foot on the rope, then he grabbed her by the back to prevent her from falling, so that Liv Morgan would fall instead, and she went for the pin. So then, after that, allowed Judgment Day to pick up the victory here, and then there's a post-match assault on AJ Styles and Liv Morgan. So I question, where was Finn Balor in all of this? Like, Edge was at ringside. AJ Styles basically had to do double duty. He had to make sure Edge wasn't getting involved and had to keep his eye on Priest. So where was Finn Balor? Or is they going to swerve us and add Finn Balor to Judgment Day? Then what happens with the feud? Who would help AJ Styles and Liv Morgan? Really? Like who? I just confused. And speaking of Ciampa, we haven't seen Ciampa since he beat Mustafa Ali. Hell, Mustafa Ali didn't even appear tonight on Raw. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at least he didn't get humiliated. So is it better to be off TV or to be on TV and get embarrassed like he was? So I don't know where they're gonna go with this. So I would have thought that the plan for Hell in a Cell would be the 6-person tag match. I thought it would be Finn Balor and AJ Styles with Liv Morgan versus Judgment Day. But now it doesn't seem that way. Finn was probably on the phone with Tony Khan asking, got any more room on the roster for me? That's funny. So we'll see. I guess we have to wait and see where this goes. Next week, I think next week is a go home show to Hell in a Cell. So I don't know what the finalized card is going to be. You know how WWE is, like to throw things together last minute. Okay, so then we get the King's Court with Veer Mahaan. I don't know why they put. I don't get why they got Jerry Lawler to do this. Didn't they have anybody else? They could have had Miz do Miz TV. They could have. Oh dang. Let me see. Next week is the go home show. Oh, it is next week? It's a go home. Next week is a go home board show. That's probably true. You know, WWE doesn't do good go home shows. So basically, Jerry is telling him, you know, to talk about his amazing success in the WWE. Veer doesn't speak. He says he wants to know why he targeted the Mysterios, and he starts saying how he's so hairy, people pet him when he's walking his dog, that Bigfoot took a picture of him. And he basically, Veer actually speaks, and he says he's not here to joke around. He said Ray is a legend, but he's too busy worrying about his son, which makes him weak, and he took them both out. Segment was a waste of time. Definitely agree. Veer equals ratings no matter what segment he's on. Okay. So he said instead of telling the world who he is, he's going to show the world. And he says that he smelled fear coming from Jerry Lawler, and then the Mysterios come out. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that kind of confused me and left my head scratching a little. So he's at one point, Veer is standing on the ring apron, yelling at the Mysterios. He's yelling at them. Yet they do absolutely nothing. They're just standing there, being yelled at by Veer. Mind you, I have no idea what he's saying because he's speaking in his language. But still, like, they're just standing there. Like, why not attack him? Like, why are you just standing there? Veer grunting brings in the ratings. Wow. So Veer spoke. I have to say, I was not expecting him to speak. Um, you can understand him. He's not as bad as Almost. Yeah, he has an accent, but you can understand him. Um, oh, but here's the thing. I don't know. It's like, would you give Veer a mouthpiece and just let him run through people, or would you actually make him talk? So you can't give everybody a mouthpiece, can you? Like, Almost definitely needed a mouthpiece, so that's good. Like I said, you can understand Veer, but I think he would also benefit from having a mouthpiece, because Veer can be built as a monster and have him run through jobbers every week and have him, face off with the Mysterios. But if he can cut a promo, then he needs a mouthpiece. But I guess we have to wait and see what they decide to do. I don't think Veer should talk. That's my opinion. Again, we can understand him, but I don't know if he was is that his natural voice, or was he amping it up for the TV? Because I don't know. I've never heard Veer speak. But what do you guys think? Should Veer cut promos, or does he need a mouthpiece? All right. Then we get Nikki Ash versus Alexa Bliss. Wasn't bad. He he sounded gibberish. So you say he needs a mouthpiece, is what you're saying. The women's match wasn't bad. It was okay. Alexa's 3-0. If anybody's keeping track, she's got 2 victories over Sonya Deville and now Nikki Ash. Um, I don't know what more to say about this match except that it was okay. Yeah. Okay, then we get a Seth Rollins promo. He said people used to sing his song every night in every city they went to. And now all he hears is Cody, Cody, Cody. And he's talking about how, like, ever since Cody came back, like, Cody has, like, a countdown clock. So it's like at the start of all, they put like an hour before you see Cody, or like, it tells you how much time is left before you see Cody. So he's talking about where's his countdown clock. And he says that Cody's clock is just gonna strike 0. All right, so next, you miss Becky's dressing like Jerry Seinfeld in that puffy shirt. She looked like a pirate. Okay. So at one point we did get Becky Lynch. I didn't catch it was Jerry Seinfeld. I've actually not a big fan of Seinfeld. Yeah, feel free to throw tomatoes on the screen. I'm not a big fan of Seinfeld. I've caught glimpses of Seinfeld here and there, but if people didn't tell me that was a Seinfeld reference, I probably would have flown over my head. So I've never seen Seinfeld like that, so I didn't get the reference. But thanks for letting me know. So we find out that the main event is going to be Becky versus Asuka. Becky Lynch wins. She gets added to the match. You see where we're going with that. All right. Then we get Cody Rhodes versus The Miz. Not a bad match. We've seen this match before, though. We've seen it. Which, the first time around, Cody Rhodes won, actually. And I am not surprised. Not surprised at all. by the finish. But never seen Seinfeld. One of my favorite shows. Yeah, never seen Seinfeld. I know what it is. Like if people tell me Jerry Seinfeld, like I can tell you, like yeah, it's Seinfeld. But I've never seen Seinfeld. Never. I've seen The Nanny. So I'm not surprised at all by the outcome of this match. Tell me why they always do this. So in the middle of the match, Seth freaking Rollins comes out and attacks Cody Rhodes. I'm not surprised they did that. They always do that. They did that for Austin Theory and they did it for Cody. I mean, now they did it for The Miz. What's next? Seriously. So they at one point Cody Rhodes gets double teamed by The Miz and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins sends Cody crashing into Steel Steps knee first. I knew it was going to be DQ. Seth dressed early for Halloween. Yeah, I saw that. So, like you guys know, Cody Rhodes likes to give out his belt to a fan. So Seth Rollins, and I actually like that he did this. He went to that fan, took the belt, whacked Cody Rhodes with it, and then he left it there. I actually like that because I think it adds to Seth's heel persona. But that's just me personally. And then Cody Rhodes gets up limping. He grabs the belt limping and he gets it back to that fan. So then somewhere down the road, he gets examined by the medical doctor. He basically says that he can put pressure on his knee now and that, he's going to face, he says that Seth better bring it at Hell in the Cell because he's going to have to kill him. Then we get Ezekiel versus Chad Gable. And one of the things I like about this is that, like, both KO and Otis get ejected from this match. They get ejected. And Ezekiel gets a roll-up pin. And KO then says he's tired of this. He challenges Ezekiel to a match at Hell in the Cell. Which I'm actually looking forward to that. Because, like, I wonder what's going to happen if, like, Ezekiel defeats KO. Like, is he just going to lose it? I'm actually digging this whole Ezekiel storyline. That's just me. Just because I was a big fan of Elias and I miss walking with Elias. Snore match between Stu Pickles and Chad Gable. Ouch. Then we find out Lacey Evans returns to action next week. I wonder who she's going to face. Maybe a local jobber. So we get MVP versus Bobbly Lashley. Remember, winner picks stipulation for this match. This is another feud that needs to end. Yeah, definitely. Alright, so obviously Almost played a factor into this. He basically attacked Lashley when the ref was distracted after Lashley chased MVP around the ring. One thing they did like was when Lashley put MVP on his shoulders and threw him into the ring post. That was a pretty cool spot. And here's the thing, like MVP gets back into the ring. The referee has his back turned. He doesn't see when Almost attacks Lashley. But because of that distraction, MVP wins by a count out. And at the end, Lashley puts MVP in the hurt lock. So again, we got this match because this was the almighty challenge. Bobbly Lashley challenged MVP to a match, and the winner got to choose a stipulation. So what kind of stipulation do you guys think it's going to be? I saw this floating around on Twitter, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if they go with this. 2-on-1 handicap match, MVP and Almost versus Bobbly Lashley inside a Hell in the Cell. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think it's going to be a regular match, and I don't think it would be any other type of stipulation besides that. What do you guys think? What type of stipulation do you? It's going to be a Hell in the Cell stipulation. Watch. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a Hell in the Cell, but I think it's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap Hell in the Cell match. And then the main event, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. We saw this last week. Wasn't a bad match. Was it? Of course, Bianca Belair was at ringside. Becky Lynch, of course, doing heel tactics, putting her feet on the rope so that she can win. Asuka knees Becky, and she lands on Bianca. Asuka tries to kick Becky, but accidentally kicks Bianca. Becky Lynch wins and is victorious. Lashley going to throw almost off the cell. Oh my god, I actually kind of want to see that, actually. I want to see him throw almost an MVP off the cell. But, so Becky Lynch is victorious. And we're going to have a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch versus Asuka. And even though it'll probably be a good match, I'm bummed because I actually wanted to see Bianca Belair versus Asuka one-on-one. I mean, I know we got a preview of it on Raw, but we only got 10 minutes? Imagine if they had a 20-minute match at Hell in the Cell, or even a 15-minute match. I actually wanted to see another singles match between the two of them, but no, we didn't get that. Instead, we're getting a triple threat match. Mind you, it'll probably be good, but we probably did the triple threat so that Asuka could probably eat the pin, and that way Becky Lynch doesn't get pinned. That way Bianca Belair doesn't get pinned. And with that being said, let me see, what would I review Raw? Like the main event, but we've seen the main event. It's basically last week's main event with a different outcome. Cody Rhodes versus Miz. That was no contest, even though it was a good match. Ezekiel versus Chad Gable. I could have sworn we saw that last week. I really didn't like the King Court segment. Nikki Ash versus Alexa Bliss was okay. I really like Seth Rollins' promo. I did like the mixed tag match. The 6-man tag match was okay, but we've seen different variations of it. And of course, Matt Riddle with that emotional promo at the beginning. I'm gonna give Raw a 5 out of 10. Just because they did like some things. But with that being said, it was not the best show. And next week being the go-home show, I think it's going to be a terrible show. I honestly do think that. But thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Oh, and I have a special announcement. So make sure you tune into Dynamite for the Dynamite review. And see you guys then. Bye.